In the news this week, an exclusive report on Labor government's future star candidate as credible sources drum up support.
Lift the ban on uranium mining. The opposition reveals key policies on nuclear power for Western Australia. Drugs and cash seized after 8 people were arrested over an alleged robbery of expensive videography equipment. And later, Dr. Andrew Miller's comment.
This is The Evening News with Ivan Loom and Maliva Thorne.
Good evening. Amidst the countdown to the upcoming WA state election, political landscapes are evolving with seasoned politicians bidding farewell. Tonight, credible sources suggest exclusively to WAMN News why Premier Roger Cook's current Chief of Staff, Daniel Pastorelli, has what it takes to become the front-runner as the next Labor candidate in the seat of Landsdale. Peter Candy begins our coverage.
With the state election now just 12 months away, there's growing speculation about which members will retire and who are the likely replacements. In Labor ranks, we know that the retirements are starting to mount up. The Attorney-General John Quigley is going. Peter Tinley, former party president, said he's going. Sue Ellery, leader in the upper house, is going. So there's a fair bit of movement. And the suggestions, Margaret Quirk is going as well, the member for Landsdale and former minister. So, and the replacement for Margaret Quirk has been suggested. Daniel Pastorelli's name has popped up, the Chief of Staff, a very influential position for the Premier. And there have been several glowing reports about Mr Pastorelli. For instance, it's been said that the factions of the Labor Party have had access to the Premier and also the leadership of the Federal Party under Mr Pastorelli. He's somewhat of the doorkeeper. He's also helped keep the party united, working behind the scenes. An effective Chief of Staff is someone you never hear about, but works assiduously behind the scenes. It's been said he's a natural choice to replace Margaret Quirk, and also that he was keen to become more actively involved, more directly involved in politics. So it's a pretty big rap for Mr Pastorelli, and a strong indication that he would get the position should Margaret Quirk quit, as has been expected. Now the next question is, if he gets the nomination and gets elected, how quickly would he progress? Well, Parliamentary Secretary's positions is like the first stepping stone when in government, and assuming Labor wins, as the expectation is. Parliamentary Secretary first, and then down the track, providing he performs, and there's no reason why he wouldn't, then a ministerial position, and increasingly influential ministerial position. So that's how parties plan, and if it works out in this case, and high hopes are held for Mr Pastorelli, then there's a good succession move in the Labor Party, and one other parties may well try and emulate. Peter Kennedy, WAMN News.
As the 2025 election draws close, the Liberals are unveiling their plans to lift WA's ban on uranium mining, sparking public debate. They argue that this move is essential for paving the way towards a renewable future. However, not everyone shares this viewpoint, as intense discussions on the environmental and societal implications continue. Paige Reid with this report.
The battle for renewable energy continued this week, with the Liberal Party saying they're going to be lifting the ban on uranium mining if they are elected in the upcoming 2025 election. Head of the Liberal Party, Libby Medham, says she will support Peter Dutton's decision to lift the ban, saying it is a more sensible move forward.
An opportunity for Western Australia to be front and foremost in the energy transition. It represents more jobs and diversification of the WA economy, but represents significant opportunities and will place WA more significantly as a global leader in the energy transition.
After winning the 2017 election, Labor banned uranium mining in the state, shutting down many of the Barnett government's projects. WA Premier Roger Cook says the ban will remain in place and the state is not ready for nuclear power anytime soon, and they should be looking for other alternatives.
These one-liners around nuclear power, which is at least 15 to 20 years off, even if we decide today that we should be doing something about that. And these ideas about re-entering the debates around uranium mining are just simply distractions. The Liberals don't have a coherent policy when it comes to addressing climate change and when it comes to taking Western Australia into a renewable energy future.
Cook says WA will be closing its coal mines by 2030 and is moving towards making our state a renewable energy powerhouse. Paige Reid, WAMN News.
And here are the other top stories making news in Perth and WA this weekend.
The Cook government has unveiled new cost of living relief for families with school-aged kids in WA this weekend. Dubbed as the WA Student Assistance Payment, this program offers financial support ranging from $150 to $250 per student. It's designed to help cover expenses like books, uniforms, and extracurriculars. Funded as part of the 2024 to 2025 state budget, is open to all students from kindergarten to year 12, regardless of school type. Eligibility is tied to each student's unique WA student number. Families can access payments through the Service WA app starting from Term 2 on April 15th. Plus, the Secondary Assistance Scheme offers extra help for qualified low-income families.
Hi there. Are you looking for a new home or want to refinance your car mortgage to get a better rate? At AA Finance Solutions, we have the expertise and knowledge to help you to find the right loan for your needs and budgets. Contact us today. Let us help you to make your home ownership dream a reality.
AA Finance Solutions, your local mortgage broker.
A man has been charged by detectives from the Rapid Apprehension Squad after a car chase unfolded earlier this week. The incident began at around 10:15 a.m. on Wednesday when police spotted a white Ford Mustang coupe on Palmerston Street in Bentley. The vehicle has allegedly been stolen from an address in Bentley earlier that day. Police initiated a traffic stop. However, the driver accelerated away, initiating the car chase. The pursuit was subsequently abandoned due to alleged dangerous driving behaviour of the suspect. The police air wing monitored the Ford as it travelled through several suburbs, including Bentley, St James, Carlisle, Welshpool, South Gifford and Queen's Park. Eventually, the vehicle was abandoned on Crawford Street in East Cannington. The male driver fled the scene but was later located and arrested inside a garage of a nearby home on Redcliffe Street. A 26-year-old man has been charged with several offences. He appeared at the Perth Magistrates Court on Thursday.
8 people have been charged with 64 offences following a major theft of camera equipment in Mount Lawley. The charges stem from the theft of $300,000 worth of camera equipment from a production rental company in Mount Lawley. At around 11 a.m. on October 26, 2023, a gang of 3 people entered a business while the 4th person waited outside in the stolen Ford Fairlane. Authorities allege that the group assaulted the store attendant and stole a large volume of high-end equipment before fleeing in the stolen car. The car was later abandoned and set alight in Gwelup. 2 days later, authorities executed 3 search warrants in Girraween, resulting in the recovery of the stolen equipment and the arrest of 2 individuals. On New Year's Eve, another woman was arrested at her house in Morley, along with 2 men nearby. Almost $24,000 in cash and 262 grams of meth were seized. As a result of the investigations, 8 people were charged.
Perth Design Week is underway in the city this week, celebrating successful designs in local fashion, arts, culture and architecture. The project has the participation of renowned global architecture firm OMA and Italian furniture brands Unifor. The exhibition's co-creators, Sandy Angie and David Smith, emphasised the importance of good design and the positive impacts it has on the daily lives of Western Australians. The event will continue until next Thursday, the 21st of March 2024.
Yeah, so it's a really diverse program. We've got over 80 events. It covers architecture, fashion and art. So there's talks and conversations and gatherings. There's also walks and tours of different buildings and the city. And then we've also got a fashion show this year, which is really exciting. And that's put together by North Metro TAFE at QV1. And that should be spectacular.
The latest road safety campaign, titled Anyone Can Save a Life, has been created for a joint partnership between the WA Road Safety Commission and St John WA this week. The campaign is designed to inspire drivers and anyone who uses the road to do an online first aid course that is both only 15 minutes and free. This will hopefully help anyone who comes across a crash save someone's life. The government aims to reduce deaths and serious injuries on WA roads by at least 50% by 2030. According to St John WA, when it comes to a victim surviving or not surviving a crash, the initial few minutes following the crash are crucial.
15% of road fatalities could have been avoided if somebody on scene had known first aid. That's why we're really proud of this partnership with the Road Safety Commission, and while we keep advocating for first aid to be part of everyone's lives, including in schools.
And now here's Dr. Andrew Miller with his weekly medical and news commentary.
Hi, thanks for your time. You can probably tell I've been to the doctor this week to have some skin biopsies done, one up here and one on my nose, as a result of too much sunburn when I was a kid. Reminder that not only do we need to protect ourselves in Australia's harsh sun conditions, but that health problems can evolve over a very long period of time. Last week, a study came out of Queensland that was suggesting we should stop calling the long-term symptoms from COVID long COVID, because it's really, according to this text message survey that was done, not a lot different to what happens after things like influenza and other respiratory viruses. This is, of course, ignoring the fact that the long-term damage of COVID is much greater in our population because far more people have suffered from it and will continue to suffer from it because, unfortunately, neither the infection nor the vaccines that we have at the moment can prevent us from getting infected over and over again. So it's still worthwhile doing what you can to avoid catching it so that we don't get those cumulative health effects that people like Professor Jeremy Nicholson from Murdoch University say are very important and much more likely to occur after this virus than it would with something like influenza or a simple cold. So what do we need to do? Well, we need to keep encouraging our governments to take the problem seriously, and we need to continue to seek out clean air whenever we can. In Europe, they're bringing in indoor clean air regulations so that people have a right to breathe clean air when they're in public spaces. And also in America and many other countries, they're vaccinating children, and I think that that's something that we should really be pushing hard for in our country, because now we're no longer able to access the vaccine for our children, whereas in other countries they can get them from 6 months of age and up. And given that they're the ones who have the longest term to worry about, I think that's a population that's worth fighting for. Thanks for your time.
Thanks, Doctor. And with the Easter long weekend coming up soon, Ivan, what do people need to keep in mind?
Lots of hot cross buns. That's purely your favourite and my favourite too. And of course, double demerit points starting over the long weekend. So remember to be safe and take care.
And now, here's Leo Polisi with what's coming up on 6 News tonight.
Thank you very much, guys. The top stories we're following on 6 News right now. The Liberal National Party gains the seat of Ipswich West, defeating the state Labor government, who suffer swings right across the state. In the local government elections, Lord Mayor Adrian Schrinner re-elected on Brisbane City Council as the Greens make several gains. And John Pesutto likely to be spilled as Victorian Liberal leader. Those stories and the rest of today's headlines are on the hour, every hour here on 6 News. And of course, watch live on our YouTube channel. For now, though, it's back to you.
Thanks, Leo. And that's our weekly news and current affairs. We've got the latest news on our website, wamnnews.com.au.
Remember to subscribe to the WAMN Extra News Club so we can continue our work in the community. Full details on wamnnews.com.au/news/extra. From Melly, Paige, Peter and myself, wish you good health, good night. See you next Sunday.
Thanks for watching.